Okay. DP. Time for you guys to catch up. What is the meaning of DP? Actually, I don't know the explanation of DP. Does anyone know? Display picture. Okay. Anyway, I got the meaning that means the profile picture. Don't play. Okay. That's a good one. Okay. So let's go to the sign rule. Okay. Last day there was a unexpected situation. So I asked you to go through the for Dinesh, it means Dinesh Pereira, nice son, no? Okay. So, I hope you guys have done the exercise anyway, because I know you well, very well. Let's discuss a little bit about those, okay? Uh, Before the sine rule, we discussed about which rule? Cosine rule, no? In cosine rule, what we had, if we know three, that is usually how do you need to remind cosine rule? It's a relationship between three sides and one angle of a triangle. Okay, one angle and three lengths. You get a combination between one angle and three lengths. That's what you have to keep in mind. So if you encounter a question where you have to deal with three sides and one angle, then you can use the cosine rule. But when we talk about the sine rule, let's try to prove the sine rule. Okay, you can draw any kind of a triangle here. And let's take A, B, and C. So this is side A, this is side B, this is side C, this is capital A, this is capital B. Okay, you can draw any triangle here. All of you should know it is the most simplest thing to prove the sine rule. Okay, I draw a perpendicular line here. Let's take it as this length is C and this perpendicular length as D, and that length is as H. So CD equals H. I can write this length H by means of this angle and this side length. No? How much? If we think this is a right angle triangle, for this right angle triangle, we can apply the trigonometric ratio. If we apply the sine rule, we have sine A. I can write it as sine A equals how much? Opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. Opposite side is H or the CDA, H over B. So I can write H equals B sine A. Similarly, from this triangle CBD, what we can prove? We can write the sine B, no? If we write sine B for it, how much? Opposite side over hypotenuse. Opposite side is H, hypotenuse is A. So we can again write H equals A sine B. If we combine, this is the same H, same height. So we can write this equation combined. Which way? B sine A should be equals to A sine B. If you again cross multiply this A and B to the denominator, so you get sine A divided by A equals sine B divided by B. Similarly, if you took another two sides with the perpendicular height, you can prove it for the C as well. So in a glance, we can say sine A divided by A should be equals to sine B divided by B should be equals to sine C divided by C. For a given triangle, the ratio between the sine value of an angle and the corresponding side length is a constant. You can think that way also. For a given triangle, the ratio means the division between the sine value of an angle and its corresponding side length. It's a constant. See, sine A divided by A is equal to sine B divided by B equal to sine C divided by C. That way. Okay. It's D. I mark it is as D here. This CD length as D. Okay. Okay. So simply when you have to, because this is a double equation, no? Why? There are two equal signs. So usually when we are solving questions, what we are up to is we need to think uh, which couple to take. If we take one couple here, like here sine A over A equals sine B over B, what we can understand here? What is the relationship? Two angles and two sides. If you have to encounter a situation where only two angles and two sides you want to mess with, so then sine rule will be very much helpful. Okay. So can you quickly have a screenshot to copy down this? I will write the questions that I am going to do today, because within this week I am going to finish trigonometric ratios. Okay. So you know that there will be classes, and I'm very happy that school have holidays for 3 days, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and that day also. So we have a lot of days to cover. Okay, that's only 3 days. Wow, I love it. I hope you also. Okay. No, I am serious. I will later show you the things that we have to cover before the end of July. Okay. We have a lot to cover. Question number 1. Exercise 6B. 6B, question number 1. A and D. A and D. Then I will be discuss question number 2. A, B. A, B, and F. Then question number 3, part B. Question number 4, A and D. And then 5, 11, and 12. Okay. 5, question number 5, then 11 and 12. Those are the questions I'm going to discuss. If you have finished already these questions, let me know, because I will let you know when in the next exercise what are the questions I am going to do. I will write them. Okay. So you can work on them. If you have done with this, if you are through to these questions, you can start working on the next questions that I am going to discuss. Or if you have some harder sums apart from these questions, you can comment in the chat also. I never seen them. Okay. But in like grade 10 students, I got to do like half of I write these like, and the students along the way, they want to do all the other questions because they have tried. Some of them have questions, so they comment a lot. Okay, anyway, question number 1, A and D. What do we have? In each of the parts A to D, given values refer to the general triangle ABC. Okay. Where to find? What is the triangle? A is 8. Let's take this is A 8. And angle is 30 degrees. And B is 72. Okay. And B, we don't know. So what to do? Simply apply the ratio, no? What is the ratio? Sine. Now you can take it interchangeably as well. Now I write sine A divided by A equals sine B divided by B. Or you can write the other way also. A divided by sine A should be equals to B divided by sine B as well. No? If you want, you can write like this also. So it's easy when we may have this B at the subject. No? So I write B divided by sine 72 should be equal to how much? A. Length of A is 8. 8 divided by sine 30. Okay, a divided by sine 30. So b should be equals to how much? 8 times sine 72 divided by sine 30. How much is the answer? 8 times. You can apply this in the calculator. I hope you know how to apply this in the calculator. Okay. So make sure when you, if you are applying the degrees, to have active, your mode is in degrees, not in radians. Okay. So you will not get wrong answers. Okay. How much? 15.21, no? 15.22 centimeters. Yes, correct. They're asking three significant figures, no? So I think 2 will be enough, no? 15.2. That will be do. Okay, so then what about D? What about D? If you don't understand this fundamental thing, ask me. Okay, because these things should be really easy for you, because none of the questions are going to come up on these questions for the paper, but these are going to be helpful to find, to learn the other subject areas. Okay, DC is 9.8. Let's take this is C, 9.8. And B is 68.4 and 83.7. They have given the B, they have given, not given A. You have to find the side length of A. If you are trying to deal here with A, side length A, then you need the corresponding angle of A. Do you know that angle? Still you don't know, but other two angles are given. Using those two, can you apply like any angle with any side length like that? No, you have to check for the corresponding angle. So you need this length, this angle you have to find. So you know how to do that. These two angles are given. So you can, from, if you subtract from 180, you will get the value for this angle A. How much is it going to be? So 180 subtract 68.4 plus 83.7. How much are we going to get? 27.9, no? So angle A is 27.9 degrees. So now we can apply the sine rule for this triangle, no? How much? A divided by sine, how much? 27.9 degrees equals how much? Do we know? C, angle C and its corresponding length. We don't need the angle B. So we can write 9.8 divided by sine, how much? 83.7. So A is equal to 9.8 into 27 sine 27.9 divided by sine 83.7. How much are we getting here? Okay, how much? 4.61. 4.61. 4.61 centimeters. Once you get the answer, you should be able to think whether is it a acceptable answer or not. Think 83 is this angle. It looks like kind of the biggest angle in this triangle. So side length opposite to the biggest angle should be the biggest length also. And this angle is the smallest one, no? 27. So the side length should be the smallest as well. Okay, there is a relationship with the angle and the corresponding side length. If it is the largest angle, side length also largest. If it is the smallest angle, opposite side length also become the smallest. Now think, this is 4.61. If I get like 10.5, I get the feeling that it's going to be wrong. Why? It should be less than the biggest side length. Like that, there should be that general understanding as well. Okay, let's jump into question number 2A. Question number 2A. Let me know if I'm teaching a little bit fast. I think you have already been through at least you have read the questions and done some sums. So that's why I'm not wasting a lot of time on explaining. Okay, question number 2, A and B, A, B, F. I am going to do A, B, and F. What do I have for A? Yeah, 57 is given, 39 is given, and we need to find X. Here 7.5 and here Y. We don't know two things. Now, what do they asking? In each of the case, calculate the values of X and Y. We have to find both. How can we find both? To apply the sine rule, we have to be careful which side lengths we know. If we need to find X, opposite side length we know. So sine X and this length we have. What else do we know? Any other side length? We don't know. How can we build it? There are two unknowns, no? We might be need to build two equations sometimes. Here X angle, can we find it easily, no? Do we need any sine rule or something? No. Why? Straight away you can find this angle because the addition of the three angles of a triangle is equal to how much? 180. So you can write x plus 57 plus 39 equals 180. So x is equal to how much? So what happens is when you are too much into just the theories, you miss these important points. I also was going to look for is this sine rule, is this cos rule, but I have to apply because I forget that simply we can have x by addition of these three angles. Okay, go look for those easy steps also. That earlier knowledge is also going to be needed for this. How much we have? 80 and 96. So it's going to be 84 degrees. X is going to be 84. Since we know this angle here, we can apply the sine rule here. How? Y divided by, I am always taking y to the front. Why? It's easy when I have that y over corresponding angle 57, no? Sine 57 equals how much? 7.5 over sine x. 7.5 over sine x. So I can make y as the subject here. 7.5 into sine 57 subtracted by how much? Sine 84. How much are we going to have? 6.32. How much? 6.32. Y should be equal to 6.32 centimeters. And you can even verify is it acceptable or not also. Why x is the largest angle. So largest side is 7.5. Definitely y should be less than 7.5. Okay, so it is acceptable. So now do you understand this? Hope you are getting the points. Where is yeah, where is Simash and Tinuka? They were present in the all the other classes. Okay. Look at the B. What do we have for B? We have to find two sides, no? What do we have here? This 30 degrees, 112 degrees, X here, Y here. This is 25. Okay. How can we find? Probably. Yes, sure. No? Weather is so cool these days. What to do? Yeah. To find x, we need, we have everything, no? You can easily go through it. You can either find x or y at first. I will go for x. Let's find this angle also at first. It will be helpful, no? This is 110, 140. So it's going to be 38 degrees here, this angle. So we can write x divided by sine 30 equals 25 divided by sine 112. So x should be equals to 25 times sine 30 divided by sine 112. Then what about y? For the y also I can write y divided by sine 38 should be equals to 25 over sine 112. So always, now in this case, after you finding x, you could have apply x divided by how much? X divided by sine 30 also to this part. But I am not going to do that part because it's a value that I am going to find using the given data. So if this goes wrong, then y is also going to be wrong. I avoid that situation by taking the already given data. Okay, so get practice to do those things also when you are answering questions along the way. Those are tricky points that if you get a wrong answer here due to some mistake, this answer is also going to be wrong. But there are situations you will have to use it. But in this situation, we don't need it. So avoid it. Y equals 25 times sine 38 divided by sine 112. What are the values we are going to get for x and y? 16.6. For y, we get 16.6 cm. What about x? $13.48. 13.48. Are they asking for three significant figures? They are not exactly asking. You can write whatever you want. That's okay because in the earlier questions they have asked for three significant figures. So you can round off to first decimal place here as 13.5 cm. It's not wrong. Okay, let's try to do at least two more questions before the end of the class. If you don't understand this, let me know. Okay, I think it's not a very hard thing for a A-level student to grab it, but need practice. Okay, definitely you need practice. Then question number 2F. Even though you understand all, I think when we discuss in the class, almost all of you can understand what I'm talking. But the point is, if you lose the practice, after some time you can't remember even what we were talking in the class. Okay, these things looking like aliens. So practice is the key. All of you get differentiated from the practice. If you practice enough, everyone will be in the same level. Okay, these are the things. Now we have to find x and y. What do we have? We have two angles and we need to find two side lengths. So definitely we need this angle also. How much is it going to be? It's going to be one. How much? It looks like 90 degrees, no? This becomes 90 degrees. Then this is a right angle triangle. This is going to be a which kind of a triangle? Right angle triangle, but it's not a really big matter for us, no? So for x, we can write x divided by sine 36.8 equals 6 divided by sine 53.2. So x equals 6 times sine 36.8 degrees divided by sine 53.2 degrees. And what about y? Y divided by sine 90 equals how much? 6 divided by sine 53.2. You know how much is sine 90? How much? It is 1. Okay. If you don't know, you can apply in the calculator. It will be the same thing. Divided by 1. It doesn't make any difference. So you can 6 divided by sine 53.2 degrees. Four point four. How much? 4.48. So you can write 4.49 for three significant figures. 4.49 centimeters. 3.59. 3.59 centimeters. If you round off, you can write 3.6 centimeters also. Okay, one more question. Let's try to finish one more question. In each of the following sets of data triangle ABC, find the value of x. Question number 3B. Sorry, question number 3, part B. Okay. Question number, this one is F. Question number 2, part F. And yes. Now what I am going to do is question number 3, part B. (7.5). Y equals 7.5. I think yes. Where I went wrong? Yes, it should be. Yeah. Yes, Dinesh, your answer is correct because I put sign other way. So it's going to be 30. (7.5). No, it's going to be 7.5. Just this 7.5. I substituted wrong in the calculator. Yes, sine 90 is 1. Okay, question number 3B. We left with 4 minutes. Okay, for the after evening class, I will send the, I think it will be the same link we used earlier. If this class stops while I am talking, no need to join again. We will be connecting back at 2, right? I think all of you can join at 2. Is that, or 2:30? What's your time? 2:30, no? Because I think you have, some of you have another session at until 2 p.m. So connect at 2:30. Okay, we will start the next session at 2:30. Let's try to finish this. We have 2 minutes. 2 minutes left. BC angle AC is 11, BC is 10, and angle B is going to be how much? 40. And you need to find angle X. Easy. So sine X divided by 10 equals sine 40 divided by 11. So in the end, you need to find X equals sine inverse everything of here. No? How much? Sine 40 into 10 divided by 11. How much are you going to get? 35.75. I got 35.75 degrees. Yes, we are going to, I'm hoping to go not just sine rule. I will go through the areas of the triangles, and I'm trying to finish almost all the things in the lesson. Okay. I'll discuss a lot. Okay. So thank you very much for your patience. See you at 2:30.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.